Hello officers, welcome to the 29th episode of Environment by Prerana ICS for UPSC Prelims 2026. ఇవాళ మనము న్యూస్లో బాగా ట్రెండ్ అవుతున్న స్పీషీస్ గురించి మాట్లాడుకుందాం, దట్ ఈస్ పెంగ్విన్స్. మీరు విల్ ఫస్ట్ అండర్స్టాండ్ ద కాంటెక్స్ట్ ఎందుకు న్యూస్లో ఉన్నాయని. This viral video of a lone nihilist from the recent Netflix documentary where one penguin has left the group and has been moving into the inland mountains in the southern hemisphere, that was going viral, and this penguin is also called as the nihilist penguin. That is not a breed of penguin. We'll see what nihilist penguin is also. అలాగే మళ్ళీ దీన్ని మనకి ఇంకా ట్రెండ్ చేసింది ద వైట్ హౌస్. ద వైట్ హౌస్ has used this viral video to make a meme of itself, showing Donald Trump walking along with a penguin towards Greenland. And this raised many eyes, saying that penguins are not present in northern hemisphere, whereas Greenland is in northern hemisphere. So let us see the distribution of penguins and everything that we need to know about penguins for UPSC. So let's begin by understanding what are the characteristics of these penguins. So ఈ penguins అనేవి they are flightless birds. They have evolved wings అనేవి they have evolved to become something called as flippers. So మనకి ఏవైతే you can see the movement ki vaade rendu చేతులు ఏవైతే ఉన్నాయో they are called as flippers. They are not wings because these are flightless birds and they cannot fly. They only walk through the snow. So this is the flippers. They have evolved not just as for the movement while walking, they also are used for swimming. So ee flippers ni vaade avi డీప్ వాటర్స్ లో అంటే అండర్ వాటర్ లో కూడా అవి ఫాస్ట్ గా స్విమ్ చేయగలుగుతాయి. సో దిస్ ఈస్ వన్ ఆఫ్ ద అడాప్టేషన్ మేడ్ బై penguins, though they are birds. Then they're aquatic masters where their bodies are streamlined, webbed, and they have adapted to walk in the snow in that can be seen in their feet as well. So what feet kuda chuste you can see the web formation on the feet. So you will see a webbed foot. So this also helps them to swim faster, and the powerful flippers that are there, they also they will help them to dive deep up to hundreds of meters into the sea or the oceans that are there. Now they have a thick fur around their body in two different colors. One, the back side of the penguins is covered in dark black thick fur, and the front side of the penguin or the belly part is covered in white color. So this helps in camouflaging them in the white snow and in the near the sea areas. So a thick layer of blubber inside this fur is also there, so that it keeps them warm in the cold waters as well as in the Antarctic region. So what is the nutrition? ఈ penguins ఏం తింటాయి? As we can see that they feed on the fish that is there in the sea waters. So they eat fish, squid and krill. Remember the fish that they're eating? The krill is mostly important because this amount of krill that is there in the sea, it is being reduced because of the fishing grounds and the human fishing that is happening, and the population of krill has declined, and hence the availability of krill for the penguins also has declined. This led to the decline in the population of penguins as well. So ఇక్కడ ఇంకొక ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్ థింగ్ ఏంటంటే penguins ఈ fish ni they don't bite and eat them, they swallow the whole fish together. So they eat krill fish and they eat squid as well as some carnivorous small fish. And one more thing, they do not have any kind of taste receptors, so they do not know the taste, like whether the food that they're eating is sweet or bitter or umami. They do not know any flavor. They just swallow the food that is there in front of them. And as I told you, they have black backs and white bellies, which help them to camouflage and prey in the water. Now let's see what is the distribution and habitat of these penguins. So entire almost southern hemisphere lo unna anni islands lo you will find different kinds of these penguins. Almost 18 species of these penguins exist. And the most popular ones are the emperor penguins, the king penguins, the Adelie penguins, the Gento penguins, and the little blue penguins. ఇందులో మనకి ఏదైతే మనం ఈ వీడియోలో వైరల్ అవుతున్న వీడియోలో చూసామో దట్ ఈస్ ద ఎంపరర్ పెంగ్విన్. And the one that we are seeing here is Gentoo penguin. So these are more fast when compared to emperor penguins. And these penguins, they do not usually live individually. They are social beings and they usually are seen in large groups. Anduke, when there is a video of, or in the documentary, when they have seen that okka penguin matrame valla group nundi vidipoyi separate ga vellipoyino, that was something peculiar because penguins usually huge groups lone untayi and they move in groups and they also fish in groups that are there. So these groups are called as rookeries. And they usually stay on the coasts of the islands near the water areas, and they do not go far from the predators onto the land. But this nihilist penguin that we have seen in the viral video, it has moved inland towards the predators. Now what are the predators that are usually seen? The sea lions are the usual predators for the penguins that are there. Now, let us talk about the life of these penguins. On land, they usually waddle, hop, or slide on their bellies, which is also called as tobogganing, for faster travel in the snow. So, avi snow lo chala fast ga move avvadaniki it takes a lot of time for them to walk on their webbed feet. So, what do? They fall on their bellies front and they slide on the snow or ice to move faster to longer distances in this particular areas. Then their reproduction, they lay 1 to 2 eggs with both parents sharing incubation as well as chick rearing duties. So both of them here play role in the incubation part. Now they have group names, like a group in water is a raft. If the group is living on a land, it is called as a waddle or a colony. So whenever you find a penguin group on an island, if they're living on land, it is called as a waddle or a colony. If it is in water swimming, it is called as a raft. Moving on, let's see the distribution of these penguins in the southern hemisphere. So usually you can find them on the islands along the South America, South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, and the South Pole region. So all the blue region that we can see here in the islands, this is where you can find all the 18 species of penguins. Now, what are the threats that we usually see, and how the most important population of these penguins are declining because of what reasons? The first one is regarding the emperor penguins. Emperor penguin is the penguin that we've seen in the video also. Vaati population chala ekku variki tagipoyindi. So let us understand why it is happening. It was happening because there was a rapid decline due to the extreme sea ice loss, that is due to the global warming that is happening, or the climate change, we can directly implicate it. Yes. And then we have African penguins, which are critically endangered from the oil spills and the food shortage that is happening due to the hunting grounds, the fish hunting grounds of the humans. సో అక్కడ క్రిల్ ఫిష్ ఎస్పెషల్లీ దాని పాపులేషన్ చాలా తగ్గిపోయింది. దానివల్ల ఆఫ్రికన్ పెంగ్విన్స్ అనేవి ఇంతకు ముందు పాపులేషన్ కన్నా చాలా తగ్గిపోయి నౌ దే ఆర్ అండర్ ద కేటగిరీ ఆఫ్ క్రిటికల్లీ ఎండేంజర్డ్ స్పీషీస్. Then we have Adelie and chinstrap penguins. They are experiencing a significant decline due to the changing Antarctic conditions, especially because of the notes that we can see in the global temperature rise and the loss of ice. Yes. So these are the threats that we have for these penguins. Now let us understand some of the important terms that are used with the penguins that can be asked in our examination. So the first one, where do they live? Mostly in the Antarctican region. It is the coldest place on earth where many penguins live both on ice as well as snow, and they also travel through water. The group of waters are called as rafts. The group that is traveling in water is called as raft. Then what is blubber? Blubber is a thick layer of fat under the fur that of the penguins, which has been there to keep them warm in the icy water. Then there is something called as brood pouch. Now brood pouch is a warm flap of skin on the penguin's belly where it keeps its eggs safe and cozy. So that is a brood pouch where the penguin keeps its eggs safe. Then a chick is a baby bird or a baby penguin. Then we know that there are feathers on top of it. Then the flippers. Flippers are nothing but the modified wings, the adapted form of wings, but they are used for swimming instead of flying. Then there is another term that is huddle. Huddle is when penguins stand close to each other for warmth. So it is like a hug. So they stand close to each other so that they can feel the warmth of the other penguins. It is called as huddle in penguins. Then krill. Krill is the fish that we are talking about, on which most of the penguins feed on. So that is the prey for the penguins. So they are tiny sea creatures which look like shrimp. Shrimp is like our prawns, and their favorite penguin food. Then the habitat in which they live, or the shelter in which they live, the penguins live, is called as a nest. Then we know what species are. They are any kind of animal or a plant that is different from other. Then the other word that we have seen in the video also is tobogganing, where the penguins slide on their bellies across the ice for fun or to move faster. Then their fur is also waterproof, which keeps them from the water, and it does not make them wet for a longer time. So these are some of the important terms that are related to penguins apart from what we have seen. So this is all about the penguins that you need to know for the environment subject for UPSC. For most of the content, please follow our channel, Prerana. Thank you.